If you're about to buy LED lights for the first time, this video can save you a lot of money and a lot of frustration, because almost everyone makes the same mistakes in the beginning, just like I did.
In the beginning. Yeah.
They buy the wrong voltage, then they buy the wrong type of pixels. They underestimate the power. These are all things I did and I didn't know how to figure it out until now. Today I just want to walk you through the most common first-time LED buying mistakes that I see and how to avoid them so you can build something that actually works the first time. In context, this isn't about brands, it's not about expensive gear, I'm not here to promote anything. It's about how to understand how a lighting system and an LED system works at a basic level, so you don't accidentally build yourself into a corner and can't get out of it. So this is for the homeowners, the hobbyists, the LED curious. You guys are in the right place. Mistake one is buying before planning. This, I gotta say, is one of the biggest mistakes by far, is you shop before you plan. Like, people see a really cool display, they jump online and start buying lights. Then later, they try to figure out how to power it, and then they try to figure out how to control it. It should be the other way around. I did the same thing. I saw cool displays, I went out and bought about 500 pixels, and then tried to put it all together, and it didn't work, So you need to figure out, what am I lighting? How long is it? Where's my power coming from? And even make a rough sketch on a piece of paper. It solves a world of problems. So you see a cool display, don't buy before you try. Make sure you guys have it all planned out. Mistake two is picking voltage based on price. I did this. A lot of beginners choose 5 volt or 12 volt purely based on the price. That's backwards, okay? 5 volt pixels are great for small props and shorter runs. 12 volt pixels make longer runs easier. Now, neither one is better. They're just different tools. Choose the voltage based on the layout, not the price. Again, 5 volts cheaper, but if you're doing giant props and giant runs, 12 volts gonna be the way to go. 12 volts a little bit more expensive, so you're making smaller props, see that you're expanding as big as you want, then do the 5 volts. I have a combination of both. But if I had to go back, I would do all 12 volts, but I like my 5 volts too. I don't know, I guess it's not really an answer. Just pick one, 12 volts or 5 volts. Mistake number 3 is mixing voltages. So this is a little kind of a hot topic here.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
If you take a 5 volt pixel and plug it into a 12 volt power supply, you release the little blue smoke, dead forever, all right? So we don't want to mix them. So if you do a 5 volt pixel, get a 5 volt power supply with a 5 volt controller and keep it 5 volts the whole way. Same thing with 12 volts. You get a 12 volt power supply, 12 volt pixels, and a 12 volt controller. It goes all the way to the front end. I run 3 types of voltages on my house. Up on my roof lines and up on top, it's all 12 volt, 24 volt, and 36 volt, all with different connectors, but that way I keep them separate. Everything in the grass and down below, I run 5 volts. Nice and easy and simple, so I keep them separated, but I have different connectors, so I never can be able to plug one into the other. So if you release the little blue smoke, it's no more. No mas. Sad day. Mistake 4 is guessing power size. So power supplies don't need to be guessed. For example, 500 pixels at 0.3 watts each is 150 watts. Add about 30%, and now you're about 200 watts. Bigger power supplies do not make the lights brighter. They just give you more breathing room. I always base all my controllers are all the same. I use an LRS 350 by Meanwell, so I have nothing but 350 watt power supplies and all the same voltages for the grass, 5 volts. If I do 12 volts, I'll do an LRS 350. It's 12 volts, so I always have a lot of headroom. So no matter what, I'm never gonna max out that power supply. Mistake number 5 is using too thin of wire. This is what I did in the very beginning. Try to find cheap wires to make cheap extension cords. The thin wire causes voltage drop causes dim pixels, and weird colors and flickering. If you're running power any real distance, you want to use thicker wire than the tiny stuff that comes on pixels. When in doubt, go thicker. Copper is cheaper than troubleshooting. A lot of these pixels come out with 24 gauge wire, and we don't want to use that. It's terrible. Find the pixels and find the lighting strands that use at least 20 gauge wire. You'll have no headaches. I built an entire matrix out of cheap pixels and cheap wire, and it flickered and caused a lot of headache, and it was horrible. So, thicker wire, 20 gauge or bigger. All right, mistake number 6, skipping fuses and feeling that fuses are optional. They are not. Fuses protect your wire. Fuses protect your power supply. Fuses protects your house. Every power output should be fused. That is a hard stop. No more conversation about that. It must be fused. Put a fuse on it. That's like what Beyonce said. If you like your house, you should have put a fuse on it. Or something like that. I think that's what she's saying. Oh. Mistake number 7 is buying random cheap pixels. Not all pixels are created equal. Cheap pixels often mean inconsistent color, poor waterproofing, and thin wire. You don't need premium pixels, but you do want known good pixels. So if it's possible, order in small batches, test them before committing. I order all my stuff off of AliExpress. I like those guys. They are cheaper in price, but they're not a cheap pixel. They come with 20 gauge wire. I really like them. I've had no problems with them. I went with a different supplier on AliExpress one time, ordered cheap pixels. They were like, I don't know, 30% more, less, and man, I regretted it all the time. It was terrible. Those pixels were terrible. It was yuck. No good. Mistake number 8 is ignoring water paths. Okay, water doesn't have to be sprayed directly to kill pixels. It runs down the wires, it pools in the connectors, and it finds opening. The water is always constantly against us. We want to use drip loops, we want to use heat shrink, we use waterproof enclosures, and always let gravity work for you. Remember, the weather never stops. It's always going to try and punish us. Water is the enemy. Now, we're not trying to light up a submarine. We're not trying to waterproof this, but we do want to be quite water resistant. So let's use our brains a little bit. Let's get our boxes off of the ground. Let's make these cool drip loops and make sure that we're giving our controllers and our pixels the best fighting chance out there. Mistake number 9, you're expecting it to be a plug and play. LED projects are not appliances. It's not like you're plugging in a blender, okay? They're small systems. There will be a learning curve, and there will be testing, and there will be small mistakes, and that's normal. So if you're expecting to buy this stuff off of the shelf, and I've got my 500 pixels, and I got my controller, and you plug them in, and then they blink, that's not how it's gonna work. So it's not like a washing machine here. Okay, so we're gonna have to go back, we're gonna have to learn a little bit. Even the stuff you buy off the shelf, like the Gobies or the Lumeris or the Angel Halos, those all come with a 1-button control, but still you gotta figure out what that one button does. So that's where we go into this. There's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve, but the more you learn, the more you can customize it. The more you customize it, the cooler it looks. Mistake number 10, installing before testing. I am still guilty of this. Always bench test before you go and take it out. Make sure your power supply and your controller's talking to your pixels. Make sure it lights up. Make sure the colors are correct. Make sure nothing gets hot. It's just like 10 minutes on the bench can save hours of testing, okay? So that's what you want to do. Don't build something, get on a ladder, take it up to the roof, plug it all in, and then try to fix it on the roof. That's a horrible idea. Don't do that, okay? Test it on the bench. Make sure it works. Make sure your red, your green, your blues are on the same order. If it works down here, it's going to work up there. So I'm totally guilty of that. I build cool stuff and then just go install it, and then I can't figure out why it doesn't work. So I try to test as much as I can. Testing is good. All right, so here's our final checklist. Number 1, sketch your layout. Choose your voltage. Estimate your pixel count. Okay, calculate the power. Choose the wire size. plan fusing, plan your mounting. That checklist alone eliminates most beginner problems. So, in closing, if you're new, start small. Start with one prop, start with one controller, start with one power supply, and make sure you get a win underneath your belt. It's nice to have success. So, hey, if this video helped out, like and subscribe down below and hit the bell icon. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. So this is where I ask you to click on these other couple videos, and this one in the middle. And this camera I haven't looked at the whole time, but now I'm going to look at it and say, maybe these videos over here. You know what? I'll go back and forth. I don't know. It's my first time doing two cameras too.